Good morning. I'm Bev Hepton, Message Maestro, and the first thing I want to say to you is excuse how I'm looking, excuse the mess behind me. It's one of those days when I feel a need to hop on and tell you how I'm feeling because I suspect a lot of people in business feel the same way I do. I've sat in front of my computer for the last hour. I've checked my emails, I've checked social media, done all that, um, answered a few emails. I've responded to some of the conversations that are happening on social media. And in my head and in my heart, I just keep asking myself why I'm doing it. I get that we're all hungry for clients and customers. In fact, most of us are starving for it and have been for a little while. And we've done everything that the marketing gurus have told us to do. We've spent money on our self development and we've spent money on upping our skill level. My skills now are quite high. I'm often bemused by talking to, say, marketers and talking to them about live streaming and how to create content and things like that. And this is all stuff I've learned from my mentor and from all the free stuff I've been on. And still, still, that engagement thing is proving harder and harder. And it creates quite a feeling of, I don't want to say failure because it isn't about failure, but that sense of climbing a mountain and you feel like you've got one arm tied behind your back and those little things you have to knock into the mountain in order to take the next step keep falling out. And you've got this really heavy backpack that's got everything that you can offer, but you can't get to it until you get to the top. Yeah, I'm a very visual storyteller, and I just felt today, with the noise that's online, and suddenly, we've been able to go out after 18 months, and I've gone to a couple of meetings with real people in a real room, having real conversations, even real hugs, and most of the people I've spoken to who are in business are complaining about the same thing. Online is now too noisy. It's like being in a huge room and someone at the front is offering you the opportunity of a lifetime and you're all jumping up and down screaming me, but actually the person at the front of the room can't see or hear any one person, so they'll just pick on the person in the front row. So the question is, how do you get to the front row? Well, I've sat and thought about that today, and actually I've been thinking about that a lot this year and realised I don't want to be in that crowd of people shouting me. I want to do the work I do. I want to work with the people I work with. I want to build people's confidence to go out there and speak. I want to help them build their stories. I want teams and organisations and large companies to understand the power of their story, but only if everybody within that team and organisation and company know their story. I'm absolutely passionate about this and letting people know. But I can't keep screaming, I'm getting a sore throat. And I think it's the same for everybody else. So, what's the answer? What do you do in that situation? Well, for me, I found that constantly turning up on social media, that consistency that people talk about, and that consistency has gone from sort of a couple of times a month to once a week to once a day to once an hour, constantly pumping stuff out, never knowing if people are seeing it. I see my insights go up and down and up and down, you know, like a yo-yo. I struggle to read the true meaning of the insights, because it's all facts and figures and I'm a visual storytelling girl. So I'm looking at it, trying to figure out what did I do that worked, that made it go up, and how come that one went down when it, all of that. Is it time of the day? Is it am I not talking to the right people? You know, I've worked so hard to get that right. And in the last few weeks, I've been really concentrating on my website because, you know, suddenly people are talking about, you know, get big sales without a website, get big sales without being on social media, get big sales without doing this, you know, do this, do that, write a book. Well, I have written a book. That's as far as I've got, and that needs to be sorted, and it will. But I want to write that book and put that book out there because the book really helps you to tell your story and understand what storytelling is all about. And I don't want to do it just because I hope people will push it up my market. Oh. So that's where we are. And I've cleaned my email list. So my email list now is down to less than 300, which, according to all the things I've read, is pitiful. My visitors to my website, and I've tweaked and I've SEO'd it till I'm sick in the teeth of SEO. I've optimized, I've sorted pictures out, load all of that, and still, you know, I don't get many visitors to the website. So we're back to what do we do? What's the solution to this problem that so many of us are having now, especially those of us that aren't marketers? That's not what we sell. Who aren't salespeople, because that's not what we do. Although we know we have to sell or persuade, or however, whatever term you want to call it. The pool of clients, you know, our best clients, those clients that are absolutely perfect for us, is getting smaller and smaller, and our living wage is getting smaller and smaller. Our confidence is lowering. Our ability to keep up with the next thing is becoming, well, my ability to keep up with the next thing has got to the point where my head is exploded, and I've just got, I can barely keep up with what I've just been learning, let alone throw that out the window because I've got to learn something else. You know, and it's all about influencer marketing now, and it's people, it's nonsense. It is absolute bloody nonsense. The people that are making the most money online are the people that are persuading you that if you do exactly what they do, you too can make money online. That may be true for those of you that want to spend thousands of pounds to follow a script exactly the way the person sold it to you wants you to do. Fine. I'm not against anybody making money and finding a way to make that money. But those of us who are passionate about the skills we have and the change we can make in other people, those of us who know we can build people's confidence and we can help them love what they do and find those clients, those of us like me that just want my clients to get out there and speak and be confident and clear about what they do. Today's marketing tools are nonsense. I don't want to spend 24 hours of my day on social media or Clubhouse or whichever platform is the current favorite. I don't want to spend all my time pulling my hair out, wondering how I get more people to sign up for my freebie. I don't want to be told on one hand, give it all away, you know, build it and they will come. And on the other hand, don't give it all away. Charge lots of money. That way people will take you seriously. Do you honestly believe people take you seriously because you charge a fortune for what you do? Or do you think people take you seriously because of the results you get? I've fallen into the trap of selling really cheap and giving it away. And all I've got, I'll be absolutely honest, is people who don't want to pay any money for what you've got. And I felt bad for people who can't afford me, even though, trust me, it's been dirt cheap. And then they turn around and go and work with someone who offers, it costs thousands of pounds. This is a bit of a rant. And I think what I'm trying to say to you all is, most of us can't compete online. Most of us do not have that level of following or influencers or email lists or whatever it may be. We don't have it. So life is difficult, really difficult. And the only thing I can say to you is, don't give up, keep going, pick the battles, pick the marketing that is comfortable for you. Pick the marketing that you feel gets to the people you want to talk to. Don't fall down the rabbit hole of thinking that the people you need to talk to are only on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, whatever the other ones are. Think about other networks. Think about the people you want to help and find a way to let them know that you can help them. And to do that, they have to be in a quieter space, and so do you. You have to find a quieter space where you can have a conversation online with someone. And as for building relationships, please, sorry, this one really gets to me. I don't have time to build long-lasting, loving relationships with the amount of connections I've made in the past 3.5 years. And I can bet you everything I own, they don't necessarily want to create a relationship with me. I actually just want to know what people do and how they can help me solve my problem, and then have a phone call with them without them trying to sell me everything. If I'm going to create a meaningful relationship, I want to have conversations with them about all sorts of things. Relationship building online isn't relationship building. Yes, we get to know about that person, and the only reason we get to know about that person is because we're trying to find out if we can sell them something. That's what it's all about. Well, I don't think I want to play that game anymore. And do you know what? I don't think I'm going to play that game anymore because it's sucking the life out of me. I like to create content. I like to throw odd things in every now and again. I like to be the person who's not necessarily consistent, but when I put something out there, it is worth taking your time to have a look at it. I want to share my tips and my resources with people, but equally, I want people to pay me what I'm worth if I'm going to work one-to-one with you to help you tell your story. So I'm stepping back from the nonsense. I'm going to pick the battles I fight and I'm going to enjoy them. I'm not going to get myself overwhelmed on every single social media platform out there and then jump on the latest one. I'm not going to do it. And I'm so glad I don't have a Mac and I didn't jump on Clubhouse right at the very beginning, following the rest of the lemmings. And I'm sure it's really, really good for some people. It was just I couldn't do another one. So think about what you do and why you do it. Think about how overwhelmed you may or may not be. Think about how you approach people. Just think about marketing and ask yourself, where do you want to be? Which platform works for you that you can become really good at? What networks are out there with your ideal client on in a much quieter space that you can have a true conversation with? And don't do what I've done this morning. Stare at my computer thinking, how can I get more leads? How can I get more likes. How can I get? Because do you know what? I don't think I care. I think by dropping that and now going, well, I think I'm going to go now and make some bread and I'm going to have a tidy up and I'm going to live my life, rather than sitting in front of my computer convinced that there's something I'm not doing that will suddenly create everything I want. The only thing that's going to get me what I want is my determination, my courage, my vision, my ability not to become a lemming. Have a great weekend. I apologise for the rant, but please let me know what you think about where we are today and working online. Let me know the sorts of issues you're having. And if we're all having the same issue, is there a simpler solution to that problem? And I promise you, if you want to pick up the phone and chat to me, I will not try to sell you anything. Have a great weekend, have a great month, and I will see you soon. Bye.